and a mother to her son. You are the light of the world. The healing had begun. You are the light of the world. Said the Father. You are the light of the world. All night we cease to be. You are the light of the world. And there was love and peace. You are the light of the world. Your most extraordinary. You are the light of the world. A city set upon a hill cannot be hid.
Good morning, and I welcome everyone here today. And it's been a bit, but we're actually going live. So like the old television programs when they announced that we were going live and there were bloopers, well, that may happen today. We've been pre-recording our messages and stuff so that we'd have more streamlined, but I realize that we're missing a lot of the engagements. We're missing a lot of the things that we can do online live. So we found a new platform that we can use, and hopefully it'll bring a lot more to us. It's a small investment, but I look at it this way. When we return to the building, we'll have an easier way to stream live from our services while not having to have like millions of dollars in equipment to do it. So let's hope this works out great. So with everyone here, let's go ahead and get that up. So there you go. We have our website. We have everything on. So like I said, the StreamYard works great. And I hope that it'll be a great part of our moving forward. So over the last couple of weeks, we've worked on the Untethered Soul. We've talked about awakening consciousness. We've talked about experiencing energy, and we know that our thoughts create energy. Today, we'll be talking about freeing yourself with Tawnia. Tanya's on, and she'll also be going live, and I thank her for joining me on this quest to make sure that we can do this. And with all that being said, so today our prayer, what I want to do is concentrate on the watcher or the observer. And in doing so, we then can begin that process of untethering ourselves from our sense consciousness and really delve into our soul. So you guys, I spoke to you last week when I talked about, I am taking a class with Reverend Jim Rosemergy. The course is called Living the Mystical Life Today. I can tell you it's a powerful class. I am so glad I met him during the time that I was studying Even Mystics Have to Pay Bills. And he allowed me at one time to actually do a daily podcast based on one of his 365-day books. So really nice guy, very powerful information. But one of the things we did do yesterday was a meditation or a prayer on becoming the watcher or affirming the watcher. And I want to do that with you today as our opening prayer. So if you feel so moved, go ahead and let's close our eyes to begin this day. And let's begin by just breathing into and centering ourselves into this moment. And again, let's just continue to breathe and feel our diaphragms expand and slowly going up as we begin to sit up a bit straighter. And as we breathe out, just let it all just melt away. Let's do that again, just feeling everything coming up, feeling straight, feeling ready to go, feeling relaxed in this moment, the only time that actually counts. And once again, just letting it go. So as I read these words, let's affirm this for ourselves and see yourself in each of these positions and each of these moments and each of these affirmations for yourself as we begin to move from the position of ego or from the position of our subconscious into the observer, or as he calls it, the watcher. I am the watcher, open to the world around me, but always remembering I am in the world, but not of it. My purpose is to know my God, my dear friend. And so I watch, welcoming the messages of my senses. I see what is to be seen. Images around me, objects near and far, light reflecting off surfaces and deep shadows. I do not judge or label what I see. I see with the eye of spirit. Then I invite the sense of sight to sleep, and I listen. For sound far and near, though soft and loud. Sounds to embrace, sounds to intrude. All are a part of my world, and I take them inside without judgment. I am the watcher. I turn my attention to my body temple. I breathe and feel the rise and fall of my chest. I direct attention to the top of my head and move slowly to the bottom of my feet. I feel, I bless, and give thanks for my body temple. I am the watcher. I breathe deeply. Are there fragrances in the air? Is the air still or moving? Are the smells subtle or strong or non-existent? It matters not. I am the watcher. Now my senses sleep, and I turn inward to my thoughts and feelings. There is no condemnation in me. I judge not. I label not. There is stillness, silence, peace. Nothing disturbs the calm peace of my mind, for I am the watcher. And just continue to feel that in you, affirming that I am the watcher. And just know that no matter the situation, you can reach higher consciousness, becoming the watcher in all situations, knowing that you are the greatest expression of God. And with that being said, let us go ahead and move on to our prayerful song.
It's a big old world with an open sky, far to go and much to see, and stretching out for miles and miles are endless possibilities. Where your heart will lead you may not know. Take this wisdom with you when you decide to go. There's a truth about wings. You don't know how strong they are until you fly. And you won't feel the heart till you're willing to have faith be on your side. When you find them, you can do anything. That's the truth about wings. Yeah. Some days it will seem like a long, hard climb. Sometimes you go you wonder if you have the strength
Hmm. See, that's the good thing about going live too. Like I said, today's bloopers. Turn off my mic because during music or during whatever, if one of my kids run in or if my wife needs to say something, um, they will pick up on the mic and it'll come through. So I try to turn it off, turn it back on. So hopefully everybody hears me now. One of the good things about going live, I wanted to say, was that I can actually interact with our crowd now. So, good morning, Thea. Good morning, Lee. Tanya's on the sidelines again, waiting to speak today. So, I did warn you about bloopers. Again, this is a new system for me, and I'm working two different screens here. Either way, announcements as always. If we got to the point where we want to give or contribute, please visit our website right here. You can see it at www.unityofnepa.org. Hit the contribute button. If you're on a smartphone, turn it on its side. The button will appear. Our YouTube channel is also live at this point. And if you are there, you can go ahead and go to our channel and and then click on the PayPal button, or as always, mail it in. And our office staff will be more than glad to take care of that for you. With that being said, our next event, of course, is the Soothing the Empath Within with Dosi on the 26th, which, if I'm correct, will be next week. Saturday, I'm already registered, ready to go. Hopefully, we've got a nice crowd going. It is on Zoom, so hopefully, there'll be a lot of interaction. And if you've ever played or known about feeling that empathic energy, soothing it right now would be a good thing. And, with everything going on, I think it'll be a great seminar. So, again, join us. It is $15. You can join or register at www.iamdosi.com, and she will send you a link to register, and then you'll be followed up with the link to join the group. So make sure that you register quickly and become part of the seminar. It would be a lot of fun to have everyone on there. And if you know other people who are even aren't in Unity but can use this seminar, please go ahead and pass that on to them. And again, for $15, it's not a bad deal. I'm in a lot of workshops right now and stuff because I want to keep that Unity energy going within me in the talking. As I said at the beginning, using the Living the Mystical Life today with Reverend Jim Rosebergy. Powerful lesson. I will be joining Unity on the River for their spirit groups with Discover the Power Within from Eric Butterworth. So make the time to join whatever you can during this time. I mean, sometimes that distancing takes a toll. I'm an introvert and I feel it. So I know how you guys are doing it. So I definitely thank you and bless you. And I'm so grateful for you being on today. And with that being said, the only thing else I wanted to touch on, so if anybody listens to this later, is that even our prayer chaplain training has actually gone virtual. So hopefully as we enter the building, or even before we enter the building, I'd like to start looking for a prayer team and prayer chaplain. And it'll be done over Zoom for the prayer chaplains as well as the prayer team. And the only requirement for both is that you've taken a prayer class. Prayer chaplains do have to be members and have completed a full prayer class and take the 5-week training. And what they did was, rather than a whole weekend that we used to do, it's broken up into 5 sessions so that they have time to practice and really get into it. So I'm not going to touch too much on that as I'm getting more information on it, but I definitely would love to see us go back with a strong prayer consciousness. So I'm going to get out the way because I know that I'm not the one you're here to speak today. We'll go to our next song, and then we're going to go ahead and hear from Tawnia on freeing yourself.
No resistance to you. Feels like my room is my true home. I eat cheeseburgers on the road, and I feel like I try, to find some kind of trouble. But my life is taking me right on its own. Gotta tell myself to have no resistance to you. Do with me what you will. Oh yeah. Not go with the flow of things. No resistance to you. I know no resistance to you. No resistance to you. A jillion thoughts race through my head. No peace of mind, no rest or sleep. Little post-its everywhere. Can't see the sun, I'm too deep. Oh, and I feel like I try, to find some kind of trouble. But my life is taking me right on its own. Gotta tell myself to have no resistance to you. Do with me what you will. Oh yeah. Learn to go with the flow of things. No resistance to you. No resistance to you. No resistance to you. No resistance to you. Oh, to you. I surrender to you. Take my life, take these dreams. I surrender completely to you. Do with me what you will, my Lord. Learn to go in the flow of things. No resistance to you. Oh no, do with me what you will for me. Got to go with the flow of things. Oh no, there's more to it than it seems. I've got to walk with my back to the wind. No resistance to you. Oh Lord, no resistance to you. No resistance, no resistance, no resistance to you. No resistance, no resistance, no resistance to you. No resistance, no resistance, no resistance to you.
Here I am. Hi, my name is Tawnia, and I am really happy to be here with you today. Today we continue our exploration of Michael A. Singer's book, The Untethered Soul, and we've come to the section of the book called Freeing Yourself, and this was 3 or 4 chapters that talked about really kind of grasping freedom for ourselves. The freedom that we're discussing today is inner freedom. And it's an ability to meet life as it unfolds and to be unwaveringly aligned with love in the process. As the book's author puts it, the truth is that everything will be okay as soon as you are okay with everything. This might sound like a big ask. After all, there's injustice and suffering and wrongs to be righted all around us. But that is exactly the point. We mistakenly look outside of ourselves to explain the suffering that we hold within ourselves. We know that the outer world is a reflection of our inner landscape. So all wrongs to be righted and suffering to be eased starts here. The path to inner freedom travels through ever-increasing layers of self-awareness and self-honesty. It may well be a never-ending journey. I don't yet know. I myself am very much on this path. We've said this many times before, but when we're offered up a topic to speak about in unity, it almost always lands with exactly where we are, and this was no exception for me this week.
Very much on this path. We've said this many times before, but when we're offered up a topic to speak about in unity.
So to claim our freedom, we must first acknowledge that we are caged.
With exactly where we are. And
Give me 1 second. Here's one of those bloopers. Sorry about that. So I'm going to go back. So to claim our freedom, we must first acknowledge that we are caged. The book offers the useful analogy of a thorn. If you had a thorn somewhere in your physical body that was causing you pain every time it was touched, you'd have two choices. Would you go to elaborate means to learn to protect it, or would you figure out how to remove it? The answer may seem obvious. We would figure out how to remove the thorn. We would learn how to remove the thorn. Now imagine discovering a thorn in your energetic body, like a tender spot in your heart that causes you pain every time that it's touched. You have the same two choices. Do you go to elaborate means to learn how to protect it, or do you figure out how to remove it? While you might still sit there and say, remove it, of course, the truth is that many of us make the first choice again and again and again and again when it comes to our inner pains. We go to incredibly elaborate means to learn how to protect them, including looking outside ourselves for the cause of our pain. We become so accustomed to the thorn and invested in protecting it at all costs that we forget that the touching of the thorn isn't the true source of the pain. It's the thorn itself. No thorn, no pain. The moment we remember the thorn and that it is the true source of our pain, not the life circumstances or relationships or outer occurrences that happen to touch it, and decide to invest our energy in learning how to remove it rather than protecting it at all costs, we are on the path to true freedom. This is when we realize that the captor and the oppressor that we've been protecting ourselves from all along has always been us. This can be a challenging realization to come to. I am my own captor. But it's ultimately incredibly freeing as well, because it also means that if we are the captor, we also have the keys. We've always had the keys, and we still have them. And once you've learned to remove one thorn, every caged thorn within yourself that you encounter from that point on is an opportunity to free yourself further. The journey never ends. Each of these thorns represents a real thing to us, a hurt, a betrayal, a shame, a mistake, an embarrassment that we try to hide away to prevent ourselves from experiencing it ever again. But the act of hiding them away actually pulls them closer and keeps them inside of us. The author says it like this: if you want to be free of these energies, you must allow them to pass through you instead of hiding them inside of you. Imagine that the perceptions associated with these experiences are messengers. They arrived at your door to deliver a message, but instead of receiving the message and letting them be on their way, you invited them in and made them house guests. All the messengers have ever wanted to do was deliver their message and leave. It's you who invited them in and keeps them close, maybe even going so far as to lock the doors and make sure that they don't escape. When we come into honest relationship with these messengers, which are our emotions, our feelings, and our perceptions, we are free to send them on their way, to let them flow as they were always intended, and to realize that we were never really caged at all. The real key to freeing ourselves is to come to the awareness that we are already free, and to invest our energy and our inner resources in remembering that truth. So this is a broad brush sort of thread to familiarize you with this portion of the book. And I would like to take the opportunity now to guide you through a practice that might give you the opportunity to explore a little bit these concepts, this idea of inner freedom. So if you feel so inclined, take a moment and find a comfortable seat. Let your spine be nice and tall. Allow your eyes to softly close, or at least relax the muscles around your eyes so that your gaze softens and maybe cast downward just a little bit. Invite your shoulders to relax and your face to soften as you begin to notice the slow, steady rhythm of your breath. And to invite your awareness inward. Take the space of a few breaths to relax into yourself, letting what's happening in the outside world move into the distance as you favor the inner landscape, a relationship to the rise and fall of the breath and your emotions and your thoughts. However quiet or busy you might find your inner world to be right now. Release the gripping and grasping. Release the holding and the expectations. And for a moment, just settle into you. As you begin to feel a little more settled and a little more centered, offer up the affirmation, I am free. Repeat it to yourself somewhat softly and melodically. I am free. Not with the force of a battering ram at the door, a demand upon yourself, an expectation, but instead as an invocation or an invitation to consider. I am free. And notice what wells up in you in response. Is there a familiarity, a sense of, yeah, I'd forgotten that? Or do you feel an immediate resistance, like walls go up, like barriers? Or somewhere in between, maybe there's a little resistance that rises and an overall sense of, yep, I am free. What spaces within you seem to recognize this as true, and what spaces within you say, no way. No need to hide from any of it. Just take it all in. If you find that the dominant sort of response within you is in the no way category, if your inner liar, liar, pants on fire rises up, then maybe shift your languaging a little. And instead of I am free, offer up a question. What would it take for me to feel free? What would it take for me to be free? See if this slightly softer inquiry lands a little more easily within yourself. If you've had a strong resistance response within you, engage with this question, this inquiry. What would it take for me to be free? Use this as your affirmation, as a point of curiosity and exploration within yourself. If you felt comfortable with the previous affirmation, with I am free, then stay with it. If neither of them land with you, then ask yourself, what does? Where is my freedom? Where am I already free? Give yourself the gift of inquiry. This is what builds self-awareness. Allow yourself to hear the answers. This is what builds self-honesty and trust. There is nothing within you you need to hide from. There is no aspect of yourself you need fear. But we forget. Again and again and again, we forget. And we hide from ourselves. And we feel as though we need to fear some aspect of ourselves, some wrong, some stumble, something that feels like a huge embarrassment, a huge pocket of shame. Recognizing that underneath all of this is love. For love is the animating force of the world. It is the animating force of each of us and every person and being that we come in contact with. And so behind our fear is love. Behind our shame is love. Behind every single thorn in our inner selves and outer selves is love. Can we love ourselves enough to learn how to remove the thorns and allow ourselves to be free? That is the journey. Take a few more nice deep breaths. And maybe take a moment to express gratitude. Gratitude for yourself, your awareness, your honesty, your love. Gratitude for this human experience. As confusing as it may be, it is also beautiful. A gift. An incredible blessing bestowed on each of us at this time. We get to know love. We get to choose to invest in love. We get to choose to remove the thorns. Or not. As you're ready, bring your awareness slowly back to yourself and your body, you sitting here, breathing and being. Maybe offer yourself that affirmation one more time. I am free. What would it take for me to be free? Maybe place a hand on your heart, acknowledging that deep down you know that you are already free. When you're ready, opening your eyes to a soft gaze and coming back to the world and back to this day. Maybe take a moment to not only claim for yourself that freedom, but to think of how you might invest. Invest your inner resources, your attention, your thoughts, your words, and ultimately your actions in obtaining this freedom for yourself. If you're aware of a thorn that needs a little attention, if you're aware of a thorn that you've been protecting, maybe today you just open the door a little to say, what would it take for me to learn to remove this thorn? What would happen if I stopped investing all of my energy in protecting it and instead chose to remove it? What would happen if I remembered that the thorn is the cause of my pain, not the way the world interacts with it or me with it? This is the path to freedom. This is how we free ourselves. One choice, one thought, one word, and one follow-up action at a time. You don't have to change the world and change yourself in one big swoop. I like to think of life and this journey as a spiral. Every opportunity I miss along the way to get the full message from that messenger, he'll come back. That message will be offered again in another way. And not as a punishment, but as an opportunity for me to grow. An opportunity ultimately for me to remember who I already am. An opportunity for me to remember that I am already free. That I am my captor and that I hold the keys. And that really, that's all an illusion too. I'm free. I'm as free as I want to be. And so are you. That's our journey. Best of luck on your journey to you. May you feel just a little more freedom today than you did when you woke up this morning, than you did yesterday. And may it just compound for you little by little every single day. Namaste.
Deep inside me, there's this longing, like a bird that needs to fly. I've been captured by indecision, but I was born to sail the sky, and I will fly on wings of eagles. I will sail on wings of change, unencumbered by the past. I face the new day unafraid. Life is rich with possibility. This is my moment, my time to shine. All it takes is a faith, and on the wings of eagles I will fly. There's a stirring in my spirit, telling me I'm free to fly. There's a small voice, I can hear it, telling me it's time to try. And I will fly on wings of eagles. I will sail on wings of change, unencumbered time to shine. All it takes is a little faith, and on the wings of eagles I will fly. I am ready to let go of the fear that held me back. I am ready to spread my wings and make a difference that will last. I will fly on wings of eagles. I will sail on wings of change, unencumbered by the past. I face the new day unafraid. Life is rich with possibility. This is my moment, my time to shine. All it takes is a little faith, and on the wings of eagles I fly. All it takes is a leap of faith, and on the wings of eagles I
Well, as always, we have had a great meditation and a great lesson by Tawnia, and I thank you for that. I do want to say good morning to Vicky. I see she joined us this morning. And anytime you join us, just let them know to go ahead and comment so I know that you're here, and give you great thanks online. And even those that watch later will know that you guys have joined us. So with that being said, I'm grateful for the mistakes we made today. I am grateful for you guys being here. And the system seems to work pretty well. So I guess as it's a learning curve, but I will learn more about it and we'll be able to do more. But at this time, as always, this is our chance as we receive such a powerful lesson today and such a beautiful meditation that it's our chance to give. So whether you're holding your gifts in your hand, or you sent your gifts virtually, or is it just the love that you want to express today? Let's go ahead together and say, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And as always, we bring ourselves to our prayer for protection. And the light of God surrounds us, and we affirm for ourselves, I am the light. Love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and I am divine. And most importantly is to always remember to affirm this for ourselves, for our world, and everything going on in our ages now, that we remember that we are God's greatest expressions, and we are the light of the world. And when we set that light free, we can change the world around us, how we perceive it, and show others that they can do the same. I'm grateful for you being here. I'm thankful for you being here. And I hope for a blessed and joyous week, and we'll see each other next Sunday.